Really, really interesting. And we'll move up north to Kano State, northwest Nigeria. For a politically conscious state like Kano, expectations about the outcome of the 2023 Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal was very high. But the judgment was not short of a surprise as the tribunal invalidated the election of Governor Abba Yusuf and declared the candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Nasiru Gawuna, as the winner of the March 18 poll. The tribunal directed INEC to issue a certificate of return to Gawuna after deducting 165,663 votes from the vote accrued to Governor Yusuf, who was, of course, a candidate of the NNPP, because the ballot papers were not stamped or signed, rendering them invalid. Well, BKO, this is a very interesting news. Interestingly, I covered Kano during the general elections for both the presidential elections and the state governorship elections, and I can confirm the drama and the anticipation that played out during the elections. But BKO, this judgment is generating lots of reaction. A former commissioner said, look, Kabiru, just accept it in good faith. Could this be as a result of the actions of the governor in the last 6 months, or perhaps there are credible evidences to prove that perhaps the NNPP were not the legitimate winner of that elections?
No, it has nothing to do with what the governor has been doing. In fact, you file your notice of your court processes before the governor even settles down to begin to do any serious work. So they have made up their minds to challenge the thing. Despite the fact that Gawuna, who lost to Abba Yusuf, had even accepted defeat, but the party owns the votes. The party refused to accept defeat and they went to court. Kano is too strategic to simply give up. So you can understand why they want to take Kano. Any party that has Kano, that is significant for you, that is strategic. So the battle for Kano is never easy. And I'm sure Kwankwaso and others know that. There were 3 grounds of the petition, and all the 3 grounds were resolved in favor of the APC. The issue of membership, as far as they are concerned, Abba Yusuf was not a member of the party as at the time the election was conducted. And then the issue of non-compliance with the Electoral Act. You must comply substantially with the Electoral Act. So they argued forcefully that that didn't happen. So then they had to deduct invalid votes from valid votes. By the time the invalid votes were deducted, Abba Yusuf was left with 853,939 votes. Then Gawuna got 890,705 votes. So 165,663 votes. 165,663 votes were deducted from Governor Yusuf's vote tally because of the issue of stamping. So it's like the lawyers just identify some loopholes. No one is doubting the popularity of NNPP. No one can doubt that. We all saw it. But you must comply with the Electoral Act. That's what the law says. And if for any reason you don't comply and your opponent can hold on to the valid evidence of non-compliance, they are going to use it against you in court. I don't know the kind of mistake they could have made that would they give ammunition to the enemy by way of Abba Yusuf not being officially deemed to have been a member of the party at the time of the election. I mean, these are legal issues that you cannot wish away, that you can't brush aside. And I know we've not had the last. They will go right up to the final court.
Well, Siki, I mean, this case is not decisive yet at this level. It's still going to go perhaps to the Supreme Court, but the grounds have been made at the tribunal. Do you see anything playing out between now and when the Supreme Court perhaps make their verdict? We hear that the NNPP have laughed off the judgment of the tribunal. That means that they're likely to appeal against this.
Yeah, the fact is that we're almost through with the legislative petitions. and verdicts by the tribunals. They've moved to the governorship now. That is what is happening. And just today, the governor of Enugu State, Peter Mbah, also won his case against the candidate of the
Labour Party.
Joke Doga. Back to your question, this is not the first time. Don't forget, you saw what happened in Osun State. At the tribunal, Governor Adeleke lost. He went on appeal. At the appeal, former governor won. They now moved to the Supreme Court, and Adeleke won. So the battle is not yet over. So it will get to the Supreme Court. But in all this, the fact is that part of the issue that we raised was that the forms were not signed and stamped. That
is a major infraction.
That invalidated those votes. And that is why it came down. But I don't even want to dwell much on Kano. My own problem is INEC. And that is why some of us, right after the election, we said some of the conduct of INEC in this last election is faulty. And I've continued to say it. In the judgment, I don't think that there was anywhere where they are talking about, oh, INEC did that. The fact is that if you can invalidate over 165,000 votes, then who do you blame? Are you blaming those that came to vote or the INEC that did not do their job? If you understand what I'm trying to say. So that is where the problem is. And that is why we continue called, because Nigeria spent so much billions and billions of naira to prepare for this election. And you have been seeing some of the things that may come in. And some of the mistakes have always been from INEC. Like the issue of membership. Membership of a party is a pre-election matter. I don't know how he got to get there and how to do it, because I don't see a situation where a governor will know that he was not validly, he's not a member of a political party, and he decided to go. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But we'll leave that to the APC court to be able to take care. But you'll be rest assured that in the next few days, some other judgment will still come out.
All right, gentlemen, we must leave it there at this time. Thank you so much for your insight and analysis of the situation. And that's it on The Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News. A big thank you to BKO and Chris Kehinde. Welcome back to Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Nice having you.
All right. I am Emmanuel Akineboa. Thank you for joining us. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.